Sometimes you gotta be careful what you wish for. After the Toronto Maple Leafs defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning in round 1 of these playoffs, ending an era of memes in the process, Leafs fans were obviously elated. And in the streets of Toronto, this was what they were chanting.
We want Florida! We want Florida! We want Florida!
Now this was before Game 7 of the Bruins-Panthers game, so the narrative became that Leafs fans wanted the lesser opponent in the Panthers. But the Bruins and Leafs kind of have a past, so it is understandable that they would want Florida, and they got them. Now it's worth mentioning because it doesn't get as much attention, Leafs fans also chanted that they wanted Boston.
We want Boston!
And, you know, maybe these fans were onto something, because getting the 17th placed Florida Panthers has not been going well. After dropping both games at home in Canada, today they would meet up south of the border in a Game 3 matchup where the Leafs were in a must-win situation. And things got off to a good start. The Leafs broke out on a 2-on-1. Camp across to Lafferty, who scores his first playoff goal, gets down on one knee as the Leafs would take the early 1-goal lead. And that was actually about it for the first, so we'll head over to the second, where just 30 seconds in, Matthews gives it away, leads to a Panthers breakout. Duclair comes down, shoots, rebound, and there's bodies flying around everywhere. Schenn, diving to save a goal, slid into his own netminder, who went down and stayed down. Samsonov appeared to get an upper body injury here, shoulder, maybe his head, but either way, he came out and would not return, as Joseph Woll was in. And if it wasn't enough to come in cold like this, the Leafs also picked up a tripping penalty in this whole ordeal, so a tall order for the young netminder. And just as the power play was set to end, the seas parted, Duclair broke out and scored a beauty. Backhand to forehand, and just like that, we were all squared up. So from this point on, the two teams would trade goals. The Leafs were first. Gustafsson comes down, passes it, and scores instead, as this one went off a stall and in. And then on the other end, 5 minutes later, Gudas puts on a wrister, and they score, as Verhaeghe with the ass cheek redirect would tie it back up. And so that was about it for the second, and the third saw no goals actually, but Woll did make some great saves as Florida was the better team most of that period, but this one would need overtime, where it's a whole new game, and the Leafs, with their season on the line, came out looking timid. The Panthers, however, did not, and Ekblad, with a great pass up to Reinhart, catches it, stopped at the line, then works his way in nicely, gets it around the boards to Lundell, back to Reinhart from behind the net, and he scores with the wraparound as the Panthers win. And Woll, with little chance here, gets beat 5-0, and the Rats would rain down. The Panthers continue to stun. A tremendous start for Florida, who I have to say are crushing it. They are legit and are now just one way away from the third round, taking a commanding 3-0 series lead for the first time in 27 years. And even as a Penguins fan on the outside looking in, they're pretty fun to watch right now. But as for the Leafs, just a brutal start to this series. They now go down 3-0, which, you know, crazier things have happened, but not even a 2% chance historically of them getting past this first round. So we'll just have to wait and see. You guys let me know. Would the Leafs have had a better matchup against Boston than Florida? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.